back to their video. In today's video, we have Grand Slam Australia results. A few hours ago, we did watch, obviously, the NXT pay-per-view, but now we're here with some AEW. And, AEW definitely delivered here as well. Obviously, going into the show, we kind of didn't know what to expect because we didn't know if this was going to be, a pay-per-view style event, or if this would just be a collision, or, kind of what would fall in. But overall, I think it's a great show.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we watched both NXT and AEW both in the same night, and it's crazy to say, but we have two best tag team matches of the year in one night between both shows. Fraxium put on absolute banger with Josh Briggs and Inamura, and now we have Ospreay and Omega taking on Fletcher and Takeshita in the opener here, and they had the time isn't showing up for the main event here, but as of right now that we see, it's 23 minutes long and probably the longest match of the night, and deservingly so. It was amazing. Just as everything you could say from the Axiom match, if you watched our previous video, you could put it in this match. It was all that plus a little more. Ospreay and Omega, what else can you say?
Yeah, I mean, these two guys, when you pair two of the best wrestlers of all time, and then two guys who are the future of the company and two future greats, you can only get magic, and that's what they delivered here tonight. The crowd was insane for both Omega, Ospreay. They got the boos on Fletcher, even though he's the hometown boy. Ospreay, Omega get the win here. And I love that Ospreay on Twitter kind of said that they're basically Goku and Vegeta, because they really are. Who could possibly stop this combination? I would like to see them maybe have a tag team run with the belts potentially, but who knows what we'll get from them.
Yeah, absolutely loved everyone in this match. Definitely want to give love to Fletcher and Takeshita as well. Takeshita, I feel like he's one of the best wrestlers in the world he might not do some of the craziest high-flying or acrobatic moves, but he just has like this ability to, when he hits people, he definitely makes you believe that move just like knocked the wind out of them. But yeah, he just looks like all his hits just hit that little bit harder than everyone else's, and Takeshita is amazing, and Fletcher, he's going to be, hopefully the next Ospreay in the next coming years. I could definitely see him just being one of those super heels if he keeps going down this route, and being just an amazing all-around wrestler in general. But yeah, amazing match here. Definitely going to be hard to follow this one up, which you'll get to in a second. But yeah, amazing.
Yeah, and we also see the super cool finisher that they're going to be doing. You have Kenny has the opponent on top of his shoulders for the one-winged angel, but then Ospreay goes to the top rope, hits Hidden Blade into the one-winged angel. So I can't wait to see that more and more. Definitely some smaller guys who are going to be taking that move are definitely going to be flown around. So, yeah.
And we're thinking about some names for them, and I'm thinking the Bang Bros. What do you guys think?
But next up, we had the TBS Championship on the line. Mercedes Moné versus Harley Cameron. And Mercedes Moné does come out with the win here, defeating Harley Cameron. And a pretty good match.
Yeah. I was, like I mentioned in our predictions video, I was hoping Harley Cameron would get the win, and that would kind of lead into Mercedes versus Toni Storm at whatever pay-per-view in the future. But yeah, that didn't end up becoming the case. Mercedes gets the win. But it was pretty much the exact match that I expected it to be. Harley Cameron showed just how much she's been improving, and she's done moves that you haven't quite seen from her in the past. And Mercedes is Mercedes. She's gonna make everything look good. She's gonna make her opponent look great. Yeah, she does retain. She's still your quadruple champion, and she will go on to face, who even knows? Hope maybe another Chris Statlander, Willow match, something like that. But yeah, definitely excited for her, and hopefully Harley Cameron, this isn't the end of her as well. I want to see a lot more of her on AEW television.
I think tonight she definitely proved that she definitely can hang with some of the best women. I mean, she's hanging with, I would say, almost unarguably the best women's wrestler in AEW right now. So she can do that. She can definitely hang with some other people, so you definitely agree. We can see some more Harley Cameron in the future. But we do get a little bit of an idea for what Mercedes Moné is going to be doing at Revolution, potentially. Momo Watanabe was front row. She won the Wrestle Dynasty Gauntlet match at Wrestle Dynasty, so she has a free world title match of her choosing. So could be a Revolution match, but we will see. I think after this we did get a backstage interview as well with Ospreay and Kenny Omega, where they laid out their Revolution plans as well. Kenny Omega calls out Takeshita saying, "You beat me twice, well I want my rematch." So at Revolution, Kenny Omega versus Takeshita for the international title. And then Ospreay also has a challenge for Kyle Fletcher, and that will be in a steel cage match as well. So Revolution looking really good so far.
Yeah, definitely excited to see what Ospreay versus Fletcher looks like in a steel cage, and Kenny versus anyone is going to be a spectacle, so definitely down to see these.
Next up, though, we had the Brisbane Brawl match where the Death Riders and took on Cope and Jay White, and the Death Riders do come out on top, and a finish that didn't fall too good with some of the fans. We got a lot of big boos following the pin, but what do you think?
Yeah, honestly, it's not great in general, in my opinion. There are some cool spots in here for sure. Probably my favorite spot was Adam Copeland getting a chair wrapped in barbed wire and just smashing it on Moxley's back a few times, and just seeing the like little pricks from it sticking to his back and then the blood come out. It was pretty crazy. That's probably my favorite spot. There was also Copeland jumping off one of the kind of entrance ramps around the crowd. And he kind of jumps off, landing on Claudio. But yeah, pretty good. Just as the match says, just a big brawl. And yeah, Death Riders do end up getting the win here.
Yeah, so we do have obviously Cope versus John Moxley at Revolution. So Moxley kind of going in with the advantage. I'm interested to see what these next few weeks look like, to see how Cope is gonna try to get his lick back. But yeah. Next up, though, we had the Continental Championship on the line with Okada taking on Buddy Matthews, and unfortunately, Buddy does fall short, and Okada retains.
Yeah, they kept Buddy looking strong in the finish. Okada kind of distracts the referee, hits the low blow into the Rainmaker, and that's how he gets the win. But Buddy Matthews showed off pretty good. I would say it was a decent match. I thought it would be maybe a little bit better. Didn't quite meet my expectation, maybe. But it was a pretty good match, nonetheless. Definitely excited to see what more they do with Buddy, or if they, continue the singles run, or if they're gonna just put him back with Brody. But yeah, it was a pretty good match. But they had some like technical kind of issues when we were watching as well, and that maybe threw it off a little bit for me as well.
Yeah, I think overall, the match was pretty solid. Definitely didn't live up to the expectations I may have had for. I thought this match could possibly be a match of the year contender and kind of feud for like the best match of the night, but unfortunately wasn't just there. However, the crowd for Buddy was very hyped. They definitely wanted to see their boy win, but fortunately comes up short. But now with Okada kind of holding the belt, kind of just very strongly, doesn't really come close to losing the belt sometimes. Interested to see what is going to be the man to dethrone him for the Continental Championship.
Yeah, could be Brody King even. I could definitely see that. Also, I just want to mention at one point during the match, Okada does the thing where he grabs his belt and he's going to walk away. Buddy Matthews gets on his mic and he says, "Normally I call you a bitch, but where we're at right now, I'm going to call you a wanker." And then that kind of sets him off and he runs back in the ring and they start brawling again. Just wanted to point that last little spot out.
But then in our main event, we had the AEW Women's World Championship on the line, where Toni Storm regains her championship, becoming the 4-time Women's World Championship, defeating Mariah May in a pretty good match.
Yeah, a first-time, 4-time champion in AEW for Toni Storm. And I would say Mariah May had an incredible run, but I am excited to see this Toni Storm run. I do think we'll probably get a third match between them. That kind of ended on like kind of a little doozy way for me. It was a lot of like the beginning started off real hot, and towards the middle part it might have slowed down a bit, but right towards the end it picked up again where it was kind of peaking for me, and I was really interested, and then it kind of ended in a roll up from Toni Storm, which I didn't really like that too much. But overall, it was an amazing match. I would say it beat my expectations. I almost want to say low expectations, but whatever expectations I did have, they did beat them. Toni Storm looked great as always. Mariah May showing off that she's improving and she's still so young and could be so much more than what she already is. So definitely excited to see Mariah May in the future. But Toni Storm does take the title.
Yeah, Mariah May definitely, like you mentioned, had a great run with the World Championship. I think she played the perfect role, holding it down for a few months while Toni Storm is kind of taking a break in a way, I guess you could say. But yeah, she held it down, had some great matches with the belt, but now that Toni's back, she gets the belt. So yeah, like you said, definitely interested in what she has next. Maybe she's the person who goes after Momo Watanabe, or Momo Watanabe goes after her. But yeah, definitely interested to see what is next for Toni. I'd like to see maybe a Willow or a Chris go for that World Championship and maybe finally win it, but it's so early. It's obviously kind of hard for them to win it immediately. But yeah, definitely interested to see what next is in this feud, because still I can tell this.
Yeah, it's just overall, I would say tonight was just a fun pay-per-view, and overall for AEW, well, it wasn't a pay-per-view, a fun collision.
Special edition episode.
Yeah, for everybody, this Grand Slam Australia episode. The crowd was fun, the arena was amazing, they were loud and just had energy throughout the entire night. So that's always good to see from a crowd. That's good to see just in general. You know, I could definitely see this place being somewhere where AEW comes back in the future because of how the crowd showed up. They packed the arena out like crazy. So, you know, maybe the arena they canceled this time, maybe they could sell it out next time. This was a good kind of staple for Australia to see what they could do in their hometown.
Yeah, it was announced, not on the show, but earlier in the day I did see on Twitter that they will be coming back in 2026. So who knows what we'll see. Maybe we see 2 shows next year, or maybe we see more. But yeah, Australia definitely delivered, definitely brought the energy. The vibes were definitely high. And I'm glad that even though going into the show we kind of didn't know what to expect, but I'm glad we left pretty much all happy. We got the hometown win, the only hometown win for Toni Storm. But yeah, overall great night, and really loved the show overall.
Yeah, and probably the first and only time we'll ever have an AEW and a WWE event on the same night, and the WWE event have more matches than the AEW event.
Yeah.
That's going to be the first and only time we'll ever see that.
And it wasn't even main roster. It had to be NXT to do it. But yeah, what was your favorite match of the night?
I'm definitely going to say Ospreay and Omega. That was just an amazing match. Just the 2 tag team matches we saw tonight just stole the shows.
Yeah, so if you haven't watched it, that's definitely the match we both recommend for you guys. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe and check out our NXT video that we posted a little bit earlier. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.